What's up YouTube? It's your boy S to the Heat Man. Today's video marks a milestone in Sheepman history. Usually my videos I just spend a lot of money, but this all is going to change. Because right now we're gonna start Sheepmans Trade Up challenge. This challenge is very simple. All we really need is one car, a little bit of man work, and then afterwards we're gonna trade this car in for something hopefully better. So we're gonna trade up. And at the end of this trade up challenge, hopefully I'm gonna be sitting in a nice luxury vehicle. Luckily, not only for us, but also for you guys, we have the right vehicle already somewhere here to start off this challenge. So let's go and check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats because this is our first car for the trade up challenge. This is Helmut, our 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.2 liter V8. Helmut arguably has definitely seen some better days. I bought Helmut 3 years ago for 2,500 euros somewhere in Sweden, and shortly after the purchase we flipped it. Quite literally, we flipped Helmut on the roof. Afterwards we drove Helmut 2,500 kilometers back home, where Helmut basically died. Ever since then, Helmut pretty much has been sitting for 3 years, and due to our flip, the roof really was not waterproof anymore, which caused the interior to produce enormous amounts of mold, which is absolutely disgusting, and I'm not a big fan of it. So we're gonna have to take care of everything today. But yeah, apart from that, Helmut seems to be the perfect base for our trade-up challenge. Let's see what we can do to Helmut, and let's see what we can trade Helmut for. So the plan is pretty simple. Car needs a little bit of work. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna make this car somewhat lookable again, and then we're gonna see if somebody is open to trade our Helmut for something better. Very simple plan, very easy, but the first hard task is going to be to drive Helmut to our workshop so we can start working on it. It smells like...
Warum sind Zirkeln im Motorraum drin?
By the way, we are invested right now into this beautiful Jeep. I think 2,500 euros if I remember correctly. So for 2,500 euros we bought this car. Then we did some maintenance work, so I think probably like 3,000 euros plus this battery. How much did the battery cost?
230.
230. So 3,200 euros is our starting budget for the trade-up challenge. 3,200 euros is what Helmut is worth currently. Sentimental value, obviously way more than that, but we can't take a look at that. We just have to ignore that.
Wah, Alter. Es ist so schlimm.
I think the first thing we really have to do is clean the interior properly, because this is absolutely disgusting.
Ja. Oha.
Well, back then they still used to build pretty good cars. It's going to be the ride of a lifetime.
Yes.
Car has been driven in 3 years. We did do the brakes, however. That was the 1,000 euros, I think, with the brakes. Ja, da müssen wir nicht zu groß reingeben. Wir können nicht das rausgeben. Bro, looking at this car like this, honestly looks pretty cool. I think we can do a little bit of magic here, hopefully. Alright, the plan is pretty simple. We're just gonna drive it to the garage now. We need to refuel it also really quick. And then we're gonna start by cleaning the interior pretty much very well, because we can't be giving anybody biohazard truck. So let's go. Perfekt.
Naja, nicht so ganz. Er raucht.
Bremsen.
Ich glaube nicht, dass das der Bremst ist.
Okay, so we might have a little bit more work with Helmut than expected. Nudelsuppen kocht er schon wieder. Maybe it's going to be a bit more work than expected.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
I don't get it. The car was not too hot or anything. It just, we turned it off and now peeing all over the floor. The gift that keeps on giving. So, little assessment from the first test drive. The car needs mechanically some love. For some reason the brakes overheated and the whole car overheated. The gas pedal got stuck, but apart from that it runs and drives pretty good. It's not the most precise car ever, but it's the cheap, so it's not too bad, I guess. Gonna also need to work some exterior stuff, and we definitely need to make the interior more suitable for driving without getting aids and anything else. It's a tough cat.
Aber schau, ist denn hier, aber die waren noch gut genug.
Ja, Nudelsuppen. Das Kübel sieht schon länger noch gut aus.
Ja, schon.
Gottes Willen. Set it off. We're gonna check out that problem a bit later. So after further assessment, it seems that Helmut needs a little bit more love than we initially thought. We're going to have to remove the mold in the interior and make the interior shiny again. Then afterwards we're gonna try to make the outside of the car look a little bit nicer and get rid of all the rust spots on the car. And also we're gonna have to do a full technical inspection on the rest of Helmut as well. Sounds like a plan? So let's start with step number 1, the interior. Yeah, with the interior, our game plan is pretty simple. We want to get rid of some of the white stuff that is still on the seats. We're just going to use some good old Stilit Bang, oder auch nicht, ein Detol. We're just going to wipe it down. Then for the carpets, we're going to use carpet cleaners in the back and in the front. I think we're probably going to use the same stuff for the roof as well and hope that everything is going to somewhat work out. And we're just going to see what else we do. Also so nass schaut es eigentlich ganz schön aus, muss ich sagen.
Das ist zum bösen Geist austreiben.
Weihwasser.
Das ist ein indianisches Ritual.
Ah, das sehe ich schon. Das wird big fans aber. Das ist nur Glasscheiben von Überschlag. This is going to be the most interesting part here. Steering wheel. So disgusting. My gloves were completely black. Steering wheel restoration. Honestly, this surprised me the most. Schaut nicht schlecht aus.
Sonst gibt es Silikonspray.
Oh, this car was absolutely disgusting. I'm actually kind of happy that we get to clean it right now. Oh, baby. Bro, the steering wheel is absolutely brand spanking new. Can't tell me anything else. This looks good. On most of the interior, we just used basic tools. And honestly, I have to say, the results were very surprising. Helmut looks like a brand new car. The seats and the plastic parts on the doors look like straight out of the factory, which was very surprising to me. The carpet was giving us a little bit of a headache, but apart from that, I think the interior turned out absolutely amazing. Which means we're ready for step number 2, which is the exterior. So ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get wet.
I don't miss you. I'm a baddie with a bad attitude. Got my go crew. It's essential to become exceptional. And I just might do all the things that my body wants to touch on this. It's cool, it's mindful, demure. Life is sweet, now you're not around. Got my girls and I love her downtown. I'm feeling myself and I want to please nobody else but me. Yeah, I'm single and I just want to mingle. There's a lot of boys, so I do my thing. I shake my ass just like it's my birthday.
Alright, all in all, Helmut is squeaky clean. I mean, the color itself is absolutely beautiful. Of course, it could need some polishing and some dent work, but after all, it's a Jeep, so I don't think it's too bad. We're gonna try to fix some of the major flaws on the outside right now with step number 3, which is we're gonna try to get rid of some of the rust, because this here is absolutely disgusting. But Gabriel has a plan. I don't really know if we can fix that back here, however. I mean, it's a used Jeep after all. So we're just gonna do some light work on the outside to make the overall exterior look a bit better than it already is, obviously. The car is very beautiful. By the way, this is a very rare color and a very rare spec of Jeep Cherokee, apparently. But I don't really know much about that. Let's get rid of the rust. Let's get rid of some of the dents. Let's make Helmut great again. All right, so we're gonna start with this black trim here, because this is where we can see the most progress, and this is going to keep us motivated the most, which is very important when we're working on cars. So Gabriel's game plan is to basically sand down this complete black piece. Then we're going to use rust converter, which is going to convert rust into no rust. Then we're gonna prime it, paint it black, and then hopefully we're gonna have beautiful black side pieces for the car. And then depending on how good of a job we do here, we can see if we do the rest of the car as well. So let's go. Ladies and Gentlemen, der Akku ist leer. Jetzt wird richtig lustig jetzt momentan. No, we're not doing 100% professional work, but it's just gonna be a quick fix for a nice trade up. Cancel what I said previously, because we did such a nice job while sanding this down. We're actually using underbody sealing, so we don't need to prime anything. We can just spray this right on the car where it belongs without any previous work. This is the most time and cost effective. This bottle was like €5. As always, prep work is the most important. Do your prep work properly, otherwise you're gonna regret it in the end. Now that you're ready for the paint, it is very, very important that you don't overspray, because you don't want this black stuff to be anywhere else except the rocker panel where it truly belongs. Shake it like a Latina girl in a Miami strip club, and then you're ready to spray. I feel like the Pablo Picasso of the automotive industry. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go the extra mile, you can actually go and paint in here as well. It's gonna make the whole car look way better, trust me. And it's easy work. It's called the trick 17. When you're a Turkish car dealer, you probably know this trick. All right, and with that, we have a proper looking side skirt for a proper cheap Cherokee Helmut edition. Also inside of this wheel well, and also the rear wheel well look absolutely beautiful now. We did some really good work, so it's time to move on. By the way, to show you guys how good of a work we actually did, look on this side, because right here, that is pretty much how it looked like before. Absolutely disgusting. If you need anything on your car painted, look no further. Call Sheepman & Sons to get your car the best possible way of shiny. Passt, die Seite machen wir schnell. All right, absolutely beautiful work. Precision work at its finest. You don't even notice that this part ever has been any rusty. And it actually matches the door handles quite well if you look at it. A few more spots to go in the car until it is finally beautiful and shiny. Es hat sich gereimt. Ich werde zum Rapper. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is one leftover from our little rollover. As you can see, it's a bit dented in, but with some high precision work, I think we should be able to get it right out where it belongs. Oh ja, braucht man Brecheisen. Ah, okay.
Na, du bist dann.
Alles, was wir gerade die letzten Stunden gut gemacht haben, haben wir gerade dafür wieder schlecht gemacht. Jawohl. Ja. Das Alu hat im Gedächtnis, dass es eindetscht ist. Der Gedächtnisstahl. Ja, jawohl. Beautiful. Yeah, that's how you get the fenders out again, I think. We're probably not gonna get a Ferrari anymore now, but maybe something very similar. I want a sports car with 2 seats for the Jeep. This is like my main goal right now. Well, the fender is good again. We only have this hole, which I am stupid, but we have something really good to cover up this hole, actually. It's always very important for any workshop to have a variety of specialty tools in case you encounter something very unexpected. And in our case, we have exactly that. We're not gonna get caught lacking in this video. We have everything we need. So the concept is actually really simple. All you need is some ramen noodles and du aufhören, unser Material zu essen, bitte. Ramen noodles, we're gonna put them in the hole and we're just gonna use some super glue. Gips. Ich wüsste glaube ich nicht sagen, aber...
Oh ja, schau, jetzt kommt das da rein. Das ist ja nur ein Filtermaterial zum Ausfüllen.
Der Ford einmal hat die Rahmennudeln überall. Aber das war halt praktisch gewesen, die zur Nudelsuppen rüberzugeben, die gekocht wird, denkt nicht mehr.
Das ist nicht deppert. Können wir unsere Spachtelmasse nehmen?
Ich glaube, wir brauchen mehr Kleber.
Das ist jetzt nur die Füllung. Da kommt jetzt zum Kleber.
Ah, yeah. This is the second step now, which is also very important. So the base layer is obviously the most important, which we have the base of noodles right here. And then this here is the second layer, which we're gonna fill with the leftover noodles that are on the ground. And this is going to create a very solid base to paint the whole panel new.
Genau so.
It's also a life hack because if you're ever stranded in the wilderness and you're really hungry, all you really have to do is open your fender and then you have a nice portion of ramen noodles that are ready to be eaten in case you're very hungry. I recommend actually doing this for every Jeep guy. If you ever break down, which we all know it happens quite often with Jeeps, especially in the wilderness, this is going to save you one day. So once you have your second layer on top, I recommend you guys to use some good old carton and then you're just gonna scrape it a little bit. We kind of f***ed it up a little bit because we waited too long. Yeah, so you're gonna want to let this cure overnight because it really needs time to soak in the ramen noodles. So I see you guys tomorrow morning when we are going to finish this lovely hole in Helmut. Another day, another dollar. Welcome back to Trade Up Challenge with Gabriel and Sheepman. We're gonna lift up Helmut really quick to just check the underside of the car and to see what's going on with the brakes and everything. Yeah, I think it doesn't really hurt to check it underneath. This has properly dried. We're gonna take care of that in a second. Bro, this turned out absolutely amazing. I'm honestly very surprised. Yeah, this is actually not so bad. Hoppala! Ich glaube, den heben wir doch nicht auf.
Passt.
Maybe we lift up Helmut in another spot. Honestly, if you look at it like this, it's not even that bad. I think we did a pretty good job. The car, most importantly, needed a clean and interior refresh. Okay, this is right now from the lift. Okay, so we now that this is completely rusty. It doesn't even look that bad. We're gonna do a little bit of maintenance work. Gonna get rid of some of the rust spots down here on a very professional way. All right, so this is the perfect height now to properly work on it. You can see some of the noodles still in there. Absolutely beautiful. So now we're gonna have to make this even, and then it's time for some good old fyller, and then afterwards we can paint it, hopefully in the right color. All right, once everything is cleaned and nicely smoothed, it is time for the most important part. Nicht am Boden dupfen. Musst du schon wieder so viel Sachen im Gesicht hängen. Absolutely amazing work. You can't really see anything anymore. Only thing missing, obviously the paint. We need to wait for this to dry really quick to be the best possible outcome. I'm just gonna do some very light rust removal really quick. So it's actually pretty simple. Just gonna coat over it really quick. And this is a very good spray. So basically it not only makes the parts black, but it also treats them for rust. Yeah, this is actually how all the professionals actually also do it. Just like that, the car looks completely new again from the front. Whoever trades Helmut with me, I'm just helping them out. They also want the best out of the car and I'm just giving them the best. It's good, guys, don't worry about it. Looks like a brand new car, guys. I'm doing God work.
Just repainted before yesterday.
Warum? What the fuck, wie? I can only recommend this spray. It works like a charm. This is going to bring us some big bucks. I can already feel it, guys. We're gonna get such a nice car afterwards. Boah, schau wie das schön ausschaut.
Das ist richtig schön, ne?
Das ist ultra geil. Yeah. I have a little surprise. Not only for you guys, but also for Helmut. We actually ordered spacers for Helmut like 3 years ago. Today is the day that we finally put them on the car. Yeah, honestly, I can't really remember how much the spacers were, but I think they were like 200 euros. But they were sitting around in my garage forever, so that doesn't really count.
Wow.
514,3.
Geil.
JDM Helmut. All right, spacers on the car. Let's see how it looks. Wow, Helmut. Bist ins Fitnessstudio gegangen, ha? So breit auf einmal. Fitman King, Stance Nation. Wow, this is perfect. Bro, I think Helmut is on track to be one of my coolest cars I ever owned. This is like proper 90s fitment. Now the best part is coming. We need to get rid of some of the rust spots here. So we're gonna do a little bit of sanding down here. Also, obviously, we need to smooth and sand out this part and the other side of the fender. And then once we have all of that figured out, we can finally get to painting Helmut. It's like the cherry on top. And it's really gonna make Helmut a league of its own in style and class, I think. It's always very important to have the cigarette right next to the Schleifer, because the cigarette smoke actually indicates where you need to put a little bit more work into. As you can see, it's getting sucked right in and it's helping lubricate everything a little bit. So it's very good technique by Gabriel right here. Alright, these rust spots are actually a bit deeper than we thought, much like the holes in our heart. So we're gonna need a little bit of filler onto here. Gabriel's gonna do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna go over to the already fillered part and put in a little bit more of soft work. 240, grit, paper, beautiful. Same process over here, 320, let's go. Absolutely wonderful work. Thank you very much. When using filler, it is very important that you also filler some of the surrounding parts that are actually not part of the process, because the car has the filler now on more parts than needed. It really accepts the filler a little bit more, which is very important for the later process. These leftover residues, they can actually be used again afterwards, or you can give them to McDonald's to make some ice cream, whatever you guys prefer. Das immer wieder selbst übertrumpfen. So, this is somewhat dry now. It is as smooth as a baby spot. I like touching baby spots, so I know how they feel, and they feel exactly like this. We're gonna have to clean it up pretty quick before we paint it. So this is going to secure the paint, and it's gonna make the paint stick a little bit better, because we like when paint sticks to cars. It's not supposed to go anywhere else. You can see I actually took some of the paint off already with the nitro, which is also very interesting. So we had this mixed by a professional paint shop. So ideally it's going to be the same color as Helmut himself. Gesundheit. Gonna find out if this truly is the case.
Es ist grün.
Es ist grün.
Das ist schon mal was.
You have to wake up all the paint particles that are in the can, so you have to shake it properly. think we should be good. This gives us green light to paint the rest of the car as well. Let's go. Ja, hier auf der Seite siehst du schon, dass es nicht gleich mache ganz so viel, das ist komplett alles grün. Now that it's wet, obviously it has a different color. So if you have some spots like this right here, what I like to do as a professional painter is just using the paint, putting it onto here, and then you just lightly tap it right where you want it. So for small scratches like these ones, it works actually flawlessly. Look at this scratch right here. Absolutely gone. Beautiful. I'm a genius. So here we have a few more scratches. Lightly tap it onto here. We don't make mistakes, we only make happy little accidents. Yeah, as you guys can see, we're slowly getting along. Helmut is becoming more and more beautiful by each time I touch Helmut. And trust me, I touch him inappropriately all the time. We should be good. Yeah, engine is running. We now have full coolant again. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe we only had like half of the coolant and half of it was air. So the car is now at normal temperatures, which means if we turn it off now, we're gonna simulate what happened yesterday. But now, hopefully, we won't have any issues. Pretty easy fix. Just had not enough coolant inside, which caused the air to stop right in front of the thermostat, and therefore the hot water could not circulate anymore. So that's why it came out here. But now that we have enough coolant, everything seems to be working fine. We left it idling for like 20 minutes. Car got warm. We can officially confirm coolant is fixed now. Helmut is being healthy again. Healthy Helmut. Health mood. So since we don't want Helmut to ever smell bad again, we took some preparations and bought some
Du hast total die grindigsten Duftbaum gekauft, was es gibt.
Tzatziki.
Was?
No, pina colada. This is the secret that car detailers don't tell you. If your car smells bad, you don't need to clean it. All you really need is Duftbaum. Sehr schön. Und das i-Tüpfelchen. Helmut is now beautiful mood. We did a little professional cleaning now because of all the dust that we obviously kicked up when we painted Helmut. But as you can see here, all the rust on the front is gone. We did not get quite the right paint for the car, unfortunately, but I do still think it is better than what we started with. It kind of looks like a regular Jeep now. I think the spacers definitely added to that as well. The interior is absolutely beautiful again, except for the headliner, which is still a little bit disgusting, but the rest of it, if you compare with how it looked before, I do think that we did an absolutely amazing job, and it only took us around 12 hours to get the car back to how it is right now. We even painted here the rear wipers because they were also completely rusty. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I think we're gonna get some good offers for Helmut. So all that is left to do now is put a nice little ad up onto the internet, and then I will absolutely lowball some other vehicle owners, and then we'll see what we can trade Helmut in for. Another beautiful project done by the No Half Sense team. Very proud of my team. Helmut deserves it. After all that he's been through. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now actually a few weeks later. We have found a possible opportunity to trade Helmut for something better. I've got into contact, we looked around Facebook Marketplace a little bit, and I actually found a guy that is willing to trade his car for our Jeep. He knows that Helmut is in a very good condition, so we should be good with that. We're gonna meet up with him now, take a look at his car, and then if we are satisfied with his car and he's satisfied with Helmut, I think we might actually have found our first trade of this trade-up challenge. Is it really going to be a trade-up? We're gonna have to find out. theoretically, the car that we're trading in for Helmut is a nice car. So we'll see. It will definitely be better than a rusty, moldy, old Jeep with 300,000 kilometers on the clock, I guess. Helmut is looking in a pretty good condition right now though. I'm really surprised how it turned out. It's gonna be a bit sad to let Helmut go because obviously he has a very big sentimental value to us in general, meaning that we flipped it and whatever, but
we're flipping it again.
We're flipping it again. You got some ripper. Exactly, Gabriel. Anyway, this is going to be the cornerstone of something big. See it as this. We're giving Helmut away, but it's going to be for a good cause. Helmut is going to bring this whole channel onto the next level. We're going to absolutely trade our way to a Ferrari or so. So let's go. Wir geben noch ein letztes Bussi. So Helmut.
Das ABS leuchtet übrigens nur, das heißt auch bei Jeep das funktioniert. Also eine Kontrollleuchte zur Funktion.
Helmut. Unglaublich. Yeah, we're gonna drive somewhere now to meet up spots. Let's hope we make it there, but it's not too far, so should be good, hopefully. So, after a short but very intense drive with Helmut, we finally arrived to the meeting point. And when we pulled into the parking lot, we could not believe our eyes. In front of us was one of the most beautiful MB Miatas I have ever laid my eyes upon. Absolutely clean example, no rust, and painted in a very nice shade of black. For me, it was clear. I wanted to get the deal done, because for me there was no way I could trade my rusty and moldy Jeep for something better than an absolute pristine two-door sports car. And after a little bit of negotiation, the owner of the Miata agreed to a deal. Our hands were shook, and with that, it was complete. We up-traded Helmut, a 2,500 euro Jeep, for a Miata that was officially listed for 8,000 euros. And now, it's time to make this Miata shine.
So richtig
so der Typ mit einem Miata, das sieht man nicht oft. Boah, der Schalter ist aber geil.
Voll geil. Muss ich was sagen, steht da.
Ich nehme das jetzt aber nicht als Kompliment. Ah, das ist der geilste Trade, den es jemals gegeben hat.
Das ist wirklich geil. Außerdem, ich bin noch nie Cabrio gefahren.
Schon geil.
That's the perfect car for Hot Boy Summer.
Definitiv.
Ja.
Hot Boy Summer, we are... We are totally ready. This is probably the greatest car I have purchased this year. It drives absolutely amazing.
It really feels good.
It feels like a sports car. I understand everybody, it's a sports car. You know, everybody makes fun of Miatas and stuff, but deep down below... deep down below, we all know it's true. It is a sports car.
Yeah.
Gonna have to refuel it really quick. And this is missing. The radio, we're gonna take care of that.
We don't listen to the radio, we listen to the engine.
Yeah. Bro, this is the greatest car ever produced. Das Auto ist so Sportauto, dass man nicht mal wissen, wie der Tankdeckel aufgeht.
MX-5 Mark II or 2.5.
Ah! Was gibt's denn? Was ist denn das für Scheiß? So, 100er. Ladies and gentlemen, we fill up the sports car with good old 100 octane fuel. Just what it needs. Boah, ist das, aber zum Sitzen ist das echt geil. Aber Getränkehalter hat ein bisschen wenig. Da schauen wir zwei sexy aus in einem Miata. Servus, Sportwagenkollege. It's days like these where you really get to enjoy life and feel good about yourself. Driving with your gay best homie in a Miata, enjoying the breeze through your hair. This really makes life worth living, guys.
Now I can enjoy that I'm alive, that I'm a...
It truly makes you feel alive. Also
ja.
Ohne Scheiß, der Schalthebel hat so eine geile Form. All seriousness right now, this car is a sports car. It really handles amazingly well. I feel like it drives properly great.
Especially when we start to tune it.
Yeah. Everybody's looking at us because they're jealous that we get to enjoy life as much as we are right now. Also ich fühle mich so wohl. Servus, hallo. I think we did the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is the start of something great.
Yeah.
We're going to nicely modify this Miata in a very decent way.
This car makes me feel like I wanna make out with a guy. Handschuhe brauchst du, so ausgeschnittene Lederhandschuhe.
They are impressed by our Miata. Von einfach nochmal an. Was sagen Sie zu unserem Sportwagen?
Sehr schön.
Dankeschön.
Mit Foto machen?
Natürlich.
Sehr geil.
Mach's gut. Yeah, he wanted to take a picture with me because
Of the car.
of the Miata, yeah. So, Miata MX-5 NB. Not the coolest Miata, I do have to say that. I do think that this one is in a pretty good condition. Obviously, there's a few spots around the car that need a little bit of attention, but we're going to take care of that very thoroughly now. So we're gonna make it beautiful, and now we have a nice and totally not homosexual MX-5. So let's get to work. We actually did some previous planning, which is unheard of in Sheepman videos, but in this video we did it. Our friends from Never Late Rally, so the guys that went to Africa with us last year, they actually still had some Miata parts laying around. These wheels, we purchased them for 300 euros. They are Miata wheels, as you can see, they're very small and very tiny, very light.
Very drifty.
And on top of that, we also purchased BC Racing coilovers, vermutlich nicht, but these were this suspension is so good. So they actually gave us this suspension for free. Ja, das schaut auch so aus, als wäre es gratis.
Aber es ist schon auf der eingestellt.
Ja, es ist perfekt eingestellt, haben sie gesagt. So all we need to do now is throw this into the car, put the wheels on, and then we have a few other smaller modifications, and then we, in theory, should have a beautiful Miata for only around 2,900 euros, which is amazing. Trade up, not yet 100% completed, but 90% done. Let's go. As you can see, all of our lifts right now are occupied. So we're going to use our very highly advanced system to create a new car lift so we can work on the car really quick. So first of all, we're obviously going to install the proper sports suspension to make this sports car a sports plus car. We have beautiful suspension, like I already said, and all we need to do really is untighten these two beautiful bolts in there, and then we can already remove the old suspension and put in the new and lowered coilovers, which are going to give the car a more sleek and more aggressive look, and it's going to absolutely transform this and make it a proper weapon. We have a very genius idea, by the way, for this modification process of the Miata. Since these MX-5s are really well known to be predominantly owned by women, we thought this is a great opportunity to also make women feel very included in our channel and to not make them feel left out, because you know, women are in the end 50% of the world's population as well. So we're gonna have our women work on the car today, and we're going to show you step by step how to modify an MX-5 if you are a girl. So sisters, let's go. This is MX-5 modification time. Woo! And ladies, as you can see, once the wheel is removed, we're ready for step number 2, which is removing those two bolts in the inside. Super schön. Whee! Miata power. So the only thing left to do for the rear suspension is removing this bolt right here, and then we can pull this out nice and smoothly. It's very simple, guys. Sure. I think this is the simplest car we have ever laid our hands upon. I understand why they call it a woman's car, because everything is so simple, even a woman can do it, as you can see. Hey girls, and with this, the first coilover is out of the car. And now to install this, girls, all you have to do is reverse the process and put the new coilovers into the car. And then don't forget to tighten the bolts properly, as this is going to be very important for your safety. Hey sisters, to make this process a bit easier, you're gonna want to use a car check, and this is going to allow the bolts to come in a bit quicker. Very simple, very nice. Whee! So sisters, this is how you simply change the coilovers. And then my girly friends, all you really need to do is put your wheel onto the car, and then you're ready with one side of the car.
For your first fancy road trip to make your nails.
This off. It's very important in these steps that you take care of your nails afterwards and wash your hands thoroughly so that all the dust and residue gets washed off your hands and fingers. Yeah. Because we all know healthy and beautiful hands are the key to success. So sisters, if you have one side complete, all that's left to do is do the other 3 sides, and then you have successfully stanced your first MX-5 Miata. Let's go!
I sleep in my Louboutin, so I wake up sexy. My martini's 31, and no need to test me.
Look at the car. Now the ride height is perfect, I would say. It's approved. And now it's time to shine. Step back. It's really important to paint the rusty part. These Miatas have problems with the spark plugs.
plugs.
Plugs. So we're gonna change them. Philo does it for me, he's my professional mechanic. First we unplugged the cables and we let them stuck on this side because we need to know where we connect them. Safety Lucy, righty tighty. Now it's time for the new plugs. We are using only the best spark plugs from NGK. Only the best. Once the spark plugs are inside, we need to change the cables.
Sometimes the girls need help from the boys, so we help them.
So now we need to check if the car starts. Perfect. Whee!
Great power. High five.
The car is now finished. It's so much fun to drive. I think it also looks cool. It needs a speaker, a very loud speaker, then it's okay, I think.
Okay.
And we ordered some spaces to make it more white body. And we need a sexy car wash from Gabriel.
Nicht schon wieder.
Yeah. Then it's perfect. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next few days when the parts arrive, and I will keep you updated.
So yeah, this was our first episode of the Trade Up Challenge. And honestly, I have to say, it was so much fun. I really want to keep it going. So if you guys have any ideas, or if you're interested in my Miata, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again very, very soon.